Just plan to go to the Racetrack Business Conference when you plan to go to PRI in Indianapolis, and you'll be able to hear the golden pipes of Dennis Michelsen.
Man, no doubt. Well, I got to get that on my calendar then, buddy.
Yes,
I sure do.
Thank you, buddy. You take care. Good luck this weekend. Y'all. That's Bob Lowery.
Thank you again. Y'all have a
Bob Lowery, Carteret County Speedway, Dennis Michelsen. Just you could hear the excitement in his voice of how pumped up they're getting back to racing this weekend.
Oh my goodness, yeah, you absolutely could, and I could just imagine it. My grandma used to live real close to Hawkeye Downs Speedway out in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Yeah,
and I used to love hearing that sound crank up when it was practice day, and I was staying out there because I knew that meant Saturday night. Man, I was going to have fun. I just love the enthusiasm, and for years, Wesley, I traveled and covered a lot of NASCAR stuff. Every Friday and Saturday night after the NASCAR guys put everything away, guess where I was? I was at some short track enjoying great racing and then having to put up with NASCAR the next day. Did I just say that?
Whoa! Commercial break time. Hey, Father's Day is right around the corner. Here's CRN co-founder Trace Nye to tell you all the details of a special promotional package that is brought to you from CRN Sports Network, and we'll be back on Full Throttle next with Orange County Speedway's Terry Deal.
Hey, this is Trace Nye with CRN. Hey, I wanted to give you an update about Unforgettables.com. Again, that's Unforgettables.com. They are offering a special Father's Day weekend special. If you go to their website at Unforgettables.com, type in the code CRN20. Again, that's CRN20. With that code, you'll receive a 10% off your entire order. Again, CRN20. All you got to do is go to Unforgettables.com. They specialize in hand-painted baseballs and baseball gifts. So once again, head over to Unforgettables.com. For Father's Day, type in CRN20, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. Again, that's Unforgettables.com.
Unforgettables. Nice. This show is sponsored by Unforgettables. Unforgettables creates detailed hand-painted baseballs for every baseball fan. Check them out at Unforgettables.com.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple.
Coming soon, the new wave of hydration and energy drink HIQ. This new product is all natural with no caffeine and gives you a major boost of hydration and energy. No twitching effect or crashing like the old energy drinks. You can visit our website at www.liquidhiq.com or Twitter at HiQ2015 to learn more about this amazing energy drink. What is your level?
Live your life and just let go. If you try, then you will know.
Hey, this is Trace Nye with CRN. Hey, I wanted to give you an update about Unforgettables.com. Again, that's Unforgettables.com. They are offering a special Father's Day weekend special. If you go to their website at Unforgettables.com, type in the code CRN20. Again, that's CRN20. With that code, you'll receive a 10% off your entire order. Again, CRN20. All you got to do is go to Unforgettables.com. They specialize in hand-painted baseballs and baseball gifts. So once again, head over to Unforgettables.com. For Father's Day, type in CRN20, and you'll receive 10% off your entire order. Again, that's Unforgettables.com. This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.
Now back to live coverage on the CRN Sports Network.
Welcome back to CRN's Full Throttle. It's all part of our podcast series on CRN Sports. I'm Wesley Outland. Dennis Michelsen joining us from the Windy City of Chicago. Hey, true story, Dennis. This time last year, I was in your neck of the woods in Chicago, flying back from the Money in the Bank 150 at Berlin Raceway in Marne, Michigan, and had a beautiful time at the airport and spent time at Wrigley Field going to a Cubs game. Yes, I miss my baseball just like Trace Knight does, and I like Chicago.
As a Cub fan, I can tell you there's only one good thing about this pandemic shutdown of baseball. I haven't had to complain about bullpen for months.
Hey, we're going to go to the phone lines now, and joining us on the program, we had on Bob Lowery just a few moments ago talking about the return of Carteret County Speedway, another racetrack that is ready to fire back up. We talk about history, we talk about heritage, we talk about never forgetting where you come from. I always remember as a kid going to Orange County Speedway off of 501 between Durham and Rougemont and Roxborough, and sitting in the grandstands as a kid watching the NASCAR Busch Series and watching Barry Begley and Wayne Patterson and all the great battles that was going on there as a kid. Even before I ever thought about being an announcer, it was at Orange County Speedway. And this promoter, along with his wife, Mary Beth, are continuing the legacy of that facility. They're going back in business this weekend after the pandemic. Terry Deal, always great catching up with you. Welcome to Full Throttle, my friend.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Hey, so how's things been going for you besides surviving the pandemic?
Well, we've been trying to survive the pandemic and trying to live with all the new rules and regulations put on us, but we've got it all worked out to have a race this weekend without fans. But, I mean, hopefully about 2 weeks or so now, we'll probably end up having some fans, so I think that'll be pretty good after that.
Dennis, that's going to be – I know we asked the question to Bob. They're going to have limited fan capacity. This is the question you should ask that you were going to ask Bob to Terry, because this place will be empty.
Oh, my goodness, Terry, that's a speedway again where, my fond memories, it doesn't matter what division's racing. It doesn't matter whether it's a heat race or the main events for the evening. There's just, it gives me the chills thinking about everybody getting on their feet as one, when the cars come off a turn 4 to get ready to take the checkers, and just going nuts about every race that happens there, because I ain't never seen a bad race at your track. How weird is it going to be to not see and hear fans out of the speedway?
Well, I think it's going to be
from
weird.
the water treatment
we
facility
see
in my
truck
backyard.
Right now, they look up after a win and they say, man, this just ain't the same. We really look forward to our fans being there, but, to get the doors open, some of us just got to do what we got to do to keep everybody happy.
So, Terry, what has been scarier during this whole pandemic thing? Wondering if this was going to get out of control and you were going to get sick, or seeing the government regulations get out of control and realize they're going to make you sick?
Well, I think the regulations that our country's getting is so hard on small businesses today that we hold the small business to the same level of a larger business. And, we just don't have the backing and the funds, a lot of these, local racetracks and businesses to compete with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Terry, I want to ask you, as I asked Bob Lowery, what's your thoughts of what's happened to Ace Speedway?
I see his point, but I think we went about it maybe the wrong way.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, that's about all I can say about that. I mean, we all have to meet regulations, and we may not always like them, but, the best way to do it is to try to keep everybody safe and do the right thing to keep your county and your government, your state government happy.
For sure, for sure. And I'll tell you something else, Dennis Michelsen. I think I talked with somebody else earlier, my good friend Buck Roos, and we were just chatting and talking with someone else, and that conversation came up about what's going on at Ace Speedway, and I think the thing I'll take out of it, Dennis, was don't poke the bear, and that bear was Governor Roy Cooper, and when they defied him, I think that really, really ruffled people's feathers at the offices of the state.
Well, I think it also had a little bit of an effect when they invited a black Republican politician to be the grand marshal at the event.
Lieutenant,
yeah. As soon as they did that, they were in the crosshairs. But Terry, how tough is it for you? How tough was was it to hold back and say, man, I want to run full throttle, or at least with limited fans? I mean, understanding that you want to keep everybody safe, but this is racing, man. We go out and take chances every day. How tough was that for you? How much of a temptation to just say, hey, man, we got to go racing this week?
No, I mean, it never really was a temptation for me because, I realized the county that I work with, Orange County's been great on getting me, to where I can open this week. My officials, with the county have done a good job getting me the inspections and everything that I need. So, to keep a good working relationship, I think that's just the way you had to do it.
And I bet the local officials, that take good care of you, I'm sure that they're a little bit frustrated right now, as we all are right now. But, man, I'm glad to hear that you're going to be having some racing. That sweet sound of engines around that track is certainly going to be good to hear.
Yeah, and we're going to broadcast it, on the interweb and stuff, and it's going to be on the radio. So, the fans are still going to be able to participate, just maybe not at the level we'd like to see as promoters and stuff.
Terry, one of the big events that I was really looking forward to putting on my itinerary for 2020 was supposed to be scheduled back in April, and that was the second annual running of the 30,000 to win Old North State Nationals for the Cars Tour. I know that that was disappointing having to postpone that, but what is the preparations going into making that now be a fall classic in October?
Well, we're going to do some stuff to build up towards that. And, that's a big event for the county because the county is involved in, some of the sponsorship of that too. So we look forward to that. And, that'll be basically their season finale, I believe, if I remember right. So, putting the biggest race of the year on right there at the end of the season to crown a champion, I think that'll be good for the car series.
Dennis, I remember when they done this race last year, bud, and I know you were talking about your nostalgia days of visiting Orange County Speedway as well as for mine in my childhood, and it reminded me so much of the stands packed for Grand National races back in the 80s and 90s being there last year.
And that's the thing is there's just, there's some tracks, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of good tracks out there, but there are tracks that I have been to where I can say, every single event at the track was entertaining. And here's the thing about your track, Terry, you guys treat people well out there too. Some promoters here in the Midwest where I'm from, they kind of got to forgetting that the front gate is important, just like the back gate. And they haven't been treating their fans too well. One great thing about all tracks in your part of the country, but especially your speedway, is you guys treat the fans great.
Well, we want them to have an enjoyable, adventure when they bring their family out. And we've always tried to be fan-friendly. And the racetrack does with the double file, or, the two groups of racing. It puts on a show probably better than most racetracks just because of the two groups are so, can be so competitive if everybody does their part.
A big show again this weekend, the return of racing at Orange County Speedway, OCStrack.com for all information, also on Twitter. Terry, my final question for you is this, bud. Obviously, when you put on a regular race and you have fans in the stands, obviously you try your best to have the back gate pay for the show, and you take whatever else money from the grandstands, concessions, souvenirs, what have you, to help pay for everything else. But now you don't have any of those things. What is the outline you guys have implemented or